Hey, what's up guys? So on my last video, I got a couple questions that said, what is your favorite lens for video for this camera, for the A7 II? And there's not really a right or wrong answer, but I just wanted to tell you guys my two favorite lenses for this camera. So first, let's talk about one of my favorite lenses to take photos with. Now this is the Rokinon 14mm lens. So I'm a huge fan of wide angle lenses, and that's why this lens is just perfect for me. So the reason I say this lens is perfect for me is because it's a manually focusing lens. And the reason I like manually focusing on my subject instead of having autofocus like most lenses are, is it makes you be a more active photographer. At least for me, I enjoy taking those types of photos because I know I worked harder to get that photo. And another reason is I've had problems with autofocusing lenses where I've gone to a place, taken what I thought was a really cool photo, and then get on the computer and look at it later, and it turns out I was actually not in focus on what I wanted to be focusing on. I think manually focusing while you're taking pictures just really allows you to get the photos you want and know that you're getting the photos that you want, and not being surprised later on that you didn't get the picture that you wanted. Most of the time I rarely use autofocus anyway, so having a lens that's just a manually focusing lens, it's kind of nice. It's like one extra step taken away where I don't even have to change it to manual focus. It's just automatically in it. What's dope is it also has infinity focus, so if you set your aperture right, you can get some really sweet astrophotography pics. Now I wanted to show you a few photos that I've taken with this lens, and a few videos too. And obviously it's not my go-to lens for video, but I thought I'd kind of show you guys what it can do for that side of things too. But some of the photos that I've taken with this lens, this one's probably my favorite out of all of them. This is taken in Utah, just as it rained, so you have some little water droplets on the lens. You can really show how big a place is with this lens because it's fisheye and wide angle. It really can give a place such a grander feeling. So this photo as well was taken with the wide angle. This was just hiking on a trail, but it really captures just a lot. Basically, I just think it's cool. I think it takes really good pictures. Its aperture goes down to 2.8, so you can get some really cool focal length pictures. So another great thing about this lens is only $300 on Amazon, which for a lens of this caliber is really not that expensive. If you're looking for a wide angle lens, I highly recommend this one. It's super nice and it's treated me well while I've used it. So another thing is I wanted to show you some clips. So here's a little really short edit that I put together using this lens. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, now on to the next lens. Now this is my go-to lens. This lens rarely leaves my camera. Like for example, right now, it's on my camera. That's why I don't have anything in my hand. So this lens is made by Sony. It's a G series lens. Aperture is 3.5 to 6.3. Unlike my Rokinon, it is an autofocus lens and it does really good with autofocus. I'll show you some clips in a little bit. So this lens is somewhat of a telephoto lens. Here are a couple photos. So this one was taken at about 50 millimeters. Photos like this were taken closer to 240. Very versatile. With 24 to 240, you get a ton of range. There's not many other lenses that you need out there that would kind of take place for this lens. It's really nice and it does really good with photos and especially video. Video is like my main purpose for this lens. Pretty much the reason I got it. I'll show you an edit that I put together with the 24 to 240 lens. Priced at about $1,000. It's really worth it. It sounds like a lot of money, especially since you're paying $1,000 for your camera body anyway. Like I said, there's not many times that you're gonna need to take this lens off your camera. There's just so many options of what you can do with this lens. It's why I like it so much. And with that, those are my 2 favorite lenses for the Sony A7 II and kind of Sony and cameras in general. I mean, obviously the 16 to 35 is kind of like one of those things where I'm like, I need to get that, but I don't really have the spare change for that right now. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. This lens also has infinity focus, which means you can get some pretty crispy astrophotography This lens also has autofocus, which means you can I cannot talk. Words are hard.